Right, how you lot? How you doing? This is a bit of a requested video, and I'm fully aware that the window is behind me, but it's the only place I can really film, so just ignore that. So it's a bit of a requested video, really, because the Mr. RM said, how about a video telling us about your job, what you do now and previous jobs. I don't know why you'd want to know that, but it seems that some of you want to know that. So I've written them down on this notepad because I forget what they are a lot of the time, and I have to think, and I think there's definitely a gap there. There's a gap in my life, and then I remember what it was. So yeah, I'll try and do requests as and when I can, and that's what was requested, so I thought I'd do that. So I'm not going to go through like my whole life. I'll literally just go from the jobs that I've had, and I've had a few by accident. Didn't quite intend on getting a lot of the jobs I actually ended up doing for some reason. I don't know how I ended up doing them, but I just did. Anyway, so school. I didn't do school very well. I'm not a school person. I can't do paperwork. I apparently have dyslexia, whatever dyslexia is. But when I was a kid, I had to go to tests, and they said that I have dyslexia. Don't know what that is. It just means I can't do stuff or whatever. If I want to do something, for example, if I want to read, I can read. If I want to write, I can write. My handwriting ain't very nice, but I can do it if I want to. If it's something I don't really want to do, I end up with a massive headache and I just can't concentrate, so I'm not going to do it. So anyway, didn't really go to school. Just saw school as a bit of fun, really. I had friends. I had quite a lot of friends, and I was the one that was always in the middle. In school, you always have the ones that are, I don't know how to say it, the ones that think they're the best all the time, yeah, the ones up the top there, and then you got the people in the middle, which I was involved in, and then you got the nerdy and geeky ones, the ones with the snotty noses all the time that no one really likes. So I was one that got on with everyone, as I do now. I got on with the top. I'm gonna have to call them the ones at the top. They weren't. They were just the kids that always think they're the best. But I got on with those, and then I just sort of walk around on my own and go and have a chat with the snotty-nosed ones as well. But I didn't really go to any lessons. I went to lessons for fun. The teachers knew that I weren't interested, so they just let me just have fun. Went there. School for me was just a social thing, just to talk to my friends and just have a good time. I haven't got any grades, as you lot call them. In America you call them grades. I think we call them grades here as well. I haven't got any of those. I did go to the tests, but I didn't really do any good on them. I haven't got any. I was so bad I don't think I even got a letter, like A, B, C or D. I don't think I got any of it. I might have got a couple of E's. Well, anyway. So, yeah, so I left school year 11 when I was 16 years old. What happened after that? I've written down in school, but I didn't write down what happened. Oh well. And then I just sort of, when you leave school, you're supposed to have a plan. You're supposed to have a plan of going to college or whatever. You're supposed to have it already worked out, so you leave school and then you go to college. But I didn't do that. I didn't really want to go to college. I didn't want to learn history. I don't want to learn history, but I didn't want to learn anything really that you would go in college for. So I just sort of sat at home. We lived with my mum and dad at the time, obviously. Started doing. I had a few people paid. I'd be at Photoshop. I had Photoshop on my computer, and you know, if they wanted a picture made or they had a picture of themselves. This is back in the time before selfies, but selfies were still about, believe it or not. We had like Nokia 3310s and things, but some of the rich kids, they had themselves a Nokia with a little camera on. Bit crap, but they had a camera on, or they'd use an actual camera. And so there was some people that wanted that pictures of themselves with family. They wanted their teeth whitened, or they wanted things done like that. So I'd Photoshop that teeth to be white, or their eyes to be a different colour, or I'd Photoshop their skin to be smoother or something like that, or hair to be different. And they'd pay me for that. So I'd get a little bit of money, not a lot, just a little bit. And then my next door neighbour, well, I live with my mum and dad, the neighbour said there's a college course coming up and they've heard about. Would I be interested in it? You know, might be interested in going. So I ended up going to this college course, and I ended up just doing pretty much everything. I ended up doing woodwork. I'd done bench fitting, which is just metal work but doing it all by hand, lathes, milling. I wasn't meant to be doing welding, but we'll touch on that in a minute. And then this college did apprenticeships. So they ended up getting me an apprenticeship as a fabrication welder in this little place. There was the bloke who owned it. There was a little bloke who just was his friend, but he was like general bloke. And they wanted a welder, so that's why I went there as an apprentice welder, fabrication welder. I was there for 2 years. I did my apprenticeship in college. I also ended up doing obviously welding, TIG and everything. I got coded. I was actually top of the class in welding. For some reason I picked that up really well, and the old bloke who done the lessons, he was really proud of me. And Brian was his name. Can't remember his last name, but Brian was his name. He rode a motorbike. He was old, he had Alzheimer's because he'd done a lot of aluminium welding in the past, and aluminium welding kills your brain, gives you Alzheimer's. So he did a lot of that, and he was really proud of me. I was the best in the class. Anyway, I'd done all the welding. Then the job I had off the back of that, which was the apprenticeship one, we used to make skid frames and things for loading tankers. I used to go around the country, had a company van. I'd passed my driving test by that time though. Because I was 17. You have to take your driving test when you're 17 over here in England. So I'd passed that anyway. I had a company van. I used to have to go and stay in hotels in Scotland and things like that, stay away for the week or whatever. Just go around the country really, doing repairing all the loading skids and loading arms and everything to load up tankers with diesel, petrol and kerosene. I was covered in kerosene and diesel. That's why I got dermatitis on my hands. My skin all falls off because of all the diesel and everything that was always on me all the time. So yeah, I did that for, and then they didn't really like they wanted to send me to Dubai. I didn't want to go to Dubai. They had a contract in Dubai. Apparently I didn't want to go to Dubai. Then they wanted me to get on a train and go up north somewhere on a bloody train. I said, I'm not going on a train. Anyway, so, and then they said, oh, because the company was going down, they got rid of the electrician, they got rid of the general labourer bloke, who was an idiot anyway. He couldn't even do nothing. And I was the last person standing. And then they basically just said, well, we need someone who wants to go, who will go on trains and go on things. The company's not doing well. In the end, his dad bought him out. The bloke who owned it, his dad had to buy it to keep the company going. Anyway, so I said, that's all right. I don't want to do that anyway, so I'll be off. So I went. And then trying to get this in order now. After that job, so I'm a fully qualified welder. I don't know if I still am coded. I don't know if the coding runs out or whatever. But I was fully qualified, and apparently I was good at it. I don't know. But I could do pipe work. I can do all that. I've been up in the gantries doing all the pipe work for all the bitumen and all that stuff. But I couldn't find a job actually doing that, because the trouble I had was, and a lot of people are going to have the same trouble, I'm sure some of you might be experiencing it at the moment, you might have the qualifications but you don't have the experience, and experience is what you need to get a job. It's no good having all the paperwork, because if you've got all the fresh paperwork but you're still young, you're still 18 or so, but you've got all this paperwork to say you can do it but you're still really young, they're just going to be like, well, he ain't got the experience. And I couldn't find a job. Everyone that wanted a welder wanted a fully experienced welder of at least 10 years, whereas I had 2.5 years experience, and a year of that was in college. So couldn't find a job doing welding. I kind of lost the passion for it. I still love welding now, but I didn't really want to do it as a job then. I didn't really have the heart for it. So I then joined an agency. I think this is in the right order. I can't remember what way. I think I joined the agency first, and it was just a general agency. And so what happened was they sent me to a cardboard factory. And you know, like when you get the statues in like DVD shops or whatever, and you got the DVDs on this cardboard cutout of like a celebrity. Yeah, I used to make them. They weren't very happy with me because I glued a couple to the wall. He had hot glue guns there to glue it all together. Well, I glued a couple to the wall. They didn't like that. But they liked me overall, so I stayed there for a little while. The agency were happy with me being there. And then, I can't remember what happened, to tell you the truth. Something happened, but I can't remember what it was. Oh, that's right. Yes, so that same agency, I think it was that same agency. I can't remember what happened, what agency sent me where, or why I left that cardboard factory now. I genuinely can't remember. But at some point after that, I joined the council. And I can't remember if I went to, I will do it in this order anyway. So I then joined the council, and I was a dustman. So I don't know what it's like in your countries, but in England you have a dust cart, which you go along and you have your black sacks and you chuck them in the back. And then you hop on the back of the dust cart and you go along a bit, and then you chuck a few more sacks in the back of the dust cart, and then it comes down and crushes them. Well, I did that and it was immensely fun. I loved it, absolutely loved it. And sometimes I'd do the wheelie bins as well. I've got a different route. I did the wheelie bins, the green waste and the recycling. You put the wheelie bin on, the wheelie bin goes up and it goes in. Loved it. That was a fantastic job. Really, really good. And then sometimes I'd be sent on another thing, so you go litter picking. So I'd have to go to the park, for example, and then there's a little hut. You get your little picker out and your bags and all that, and you just walk around with your earphone music, walk around the streets, litter picking the paths. Oh, it's fantastic. You walk in a shop whenever you want, get a drink. Really, really, really enjoyed that job. It was lovely. I keep looking at the screen, so I want to make sure the bloody window, I should block it off with a towel or something, but it's giving me light, it's alright. So I really enjoyed being a dustman, and doing all the litter picking and everything. And then that company, the council, for some reason, I think they wanted someone to clean the offices, because in the morning you had to go to the main depot, and then you get in your dust cart with your driver and the other person, and then you'd go off on your route. Well, they wanted a cleaner, so I somehow got roped into cleaning. So then I had a little cleaning cart and a mop and everything, and I was going around the offices cleaning it. I loved that as well. That was bloody brilliant, you know. Before all the people come in, it was clean. No one was in the offices. I'd just clean and polish all the desks and everything. That was good fun. But I can't remember why I left. The last memory I have was going out on a job on the round doing the dust carts. And I really genuinely can't remember, but I know there was one that was a really hot day and I wanted to go and get a drink from the shop, and the bloke didn't want me to go and get a drink from the shop, but I was thirsty. I wanted a drink of water, so all I wanted was water. So I went to go and get a drink of water. Anyway, when I come back, there was the manager bloke, put me in a car and said that I had to go, so I went. So then I went to a place called Argos. I think this is in the right order. Argos might have been before that, but I think Argos was after that. I can't remember. But bloody hell. So, yes, I'm pretty sure Argos was after that. So then I went to a place called Argos. Now in England we have a shop called Argos. You may have heard of it in other countries, I don't know. But what happens is, you can't really walk around it and browse things. You can't walk around a shop and pick things off a shelf and put it in a trolley. Argos, you have a catalogue. I should have bought one. I got one indoors. I should have showed you it. But you have a catalogue indoor in your home. Or you probably can do it on the internet nowadays, but I don't really know the internet. So, but the way I do it is you have a catalogue. You have a look what you want in this catalogue, and then you write down the number, the catalogue number, and then you go to the shop. And when you go to the shop, it's just like a front. They have a few things on display, but not a lot. And you go to the person on the counter and you give them the number, the product number, or the catalogue number of what it is you want. And then they put it in their little computer and it comes up and they say, is that what you want? And you go, yep. And then you pay and you stand at the desk and then it comes down a big chute and a person hands you your thing, what you want, and you walk out. So I went to Argos in the warehouse. Around the back of the actual shop was a big warehouse where they keep all their stock. So I went in there, and they had a few forklifts and lollops and things, and I just had to pick. I was a picker. That was really good fun. It's for an agency called Blue Arrow, but I don't think they're around anymore. I really enjoyed that. It was a bit shift work really, but you put your earphones on, it says go to aisle B, aisle C or whatever, you pick up. It's great. I loved it. Really did enjoy it actually. You know, you have your trolley, your big trolley thing, and you put your stuff when it tells you to put in it, and then you go and take that to the loading bay. That gets loaded onto lorries, and away it goes. Then you just go and do another one. You know, you don't get paid a lot. The pay was crap, but the job itself was fun, and it kept me occupied. You know, it paid the bills. I really did enjoy that. In fact, I enjoyed everything. In fact, I just enjoyed life. So you won't find I've never done a job that I don't enjoy. And then so I did that. Again, I can't remember why I left. I genuinely can't remember. Genuinely can't remember. I genuinely can't remember why I left Argos, because I really did enjoy it and it was good fun, but genuinely I can't remember. So anyway, I left that for some reason, and then when I was looking for a job after I'd left being a welder, I'd handed CVs into loads of different places. Well, it turns out that just after I'd left Argos, this other place called Worldwide Books had looked at my CV, like they'd obviously kept it in storage or whatever, and they'd gone, oh, we need a person, let's get that CV out for that bloke that, well, I was a kid then, I was still a teenager, let's get that CV out for that kid that brought it in the other month, a few months ago. They rang me up and offered me a job, so I took the job. Now what they'd done, it was mainly books, but it was also other Amazon products. I don't really know the point of it. It just seems a bit pointless really, because the stuff comes from wherever it was bought from, goes to this middleman, and then gets distributed out, but I don't know why the place where it's bought from can't distribute it. But anyway, oh, I'm going to have to start recording again. The camera's going to time out. Bloody hell. Alright, here we go again. For some reason this camera's only got half an hour as a recording limit, so after half an hour you've got to stop again and go. Anyway, been talking for 18 minutes, can you believe that? So I went to this place, and all we had to do, the pay was crap, but you had to come in and you get parcels that were destined for the Middle East, for America, for Australia, for all different countries, and also in England as well. And so there was a sorting bay, which I did. It was good fun. You look at that, you look at the address, and you put it in the Middle East section, or the Europe section, or the America section, or Australia section. And then it goes around, and you put them all on a pallet, and you shrink wrap them, and then they get sent off to the relevant country. Well, I did actually get the sack from that job, because I'm not good at paperwork, and the paperwork side of it weren't really what I wanted to do. And I accidentally, over a period of a couple of weeks, I kept sending some of the wrong parcels to the wrong countries. So I'd have a big pallet that was destined for somewhere in the Middle East, but it would have Germany, so a few German parcels in it or something. Anyway, it cost them a bit of money to get them back and everything. So I did actually get the sack from that. So yeah, that was that. And then so I got the sack from there. That's the end of that. And then I was still only young. I was only a teenager. No, I weren't. I couldn't have been. I must have been 20. Must have been about 20, I suppose. Don't know. Yeah, it must have been. So after that, yeah, I had about a week while I was just looking for jobs. Weren't major. I had a bit of money in the bank to pay bills and things, but I did need a job. One of my dad's friends come along and said, I know where there's a job going along, driving a tractor. So I said, brilliant. So when I had a little interview, we're getting very recent now, with my old boss, and yeah, he liked me, so he took me on. And I was driving tractors on a construction site, part of this is going very recent now. This is my career currently, ish. driving tractors, doing dust suppression, and that we built where it was building was at the time. We were building a golf course from scratch. Build a golf course. So when the golf course started to build up, they wanted someone to cut the grass. So I ended up cutting the grass, and I've got about a year. I think I did about a year fully on the golf course after it was partially built, cutting grass, doing the greens, tees, just doing all the bits and bobs on the golf course. Driving range, the lot. So anyway, I did all the grass cutting and all that. So really I've got experience being a greenkeeper. About a year, a little bit, if you add it all up, about 2 years, but a year solid it was. But the head greenkeeper was a cock. So he tried to frame me on many things, but we'll go into that on a different day. So he was on drugs, not drugs. So yeah, I done all that, and I was with that company for about 7 years. I was with that company. So I started driving a tractor, doing dust suppression, then I kind of did grass cutting in between, went on the weigh bridges and all that kind of stuff, and then I wanted to do something different, so I went on a bulldozer. No, I did night work for this company and everything, but I wanted to go on a bulldozer, so I went on a bulldozer, paid to get my ticket and everything. Then that was my job. I was a blade driver, or a dozer driver, or whatever you want to call them. And yeah, so that's when I ended up getting the sack from that job. Unfortunately, I was there. I was determined to make the 10-year mark. I was determined to work for them for the rest of my life. I loved the company. Was a good company. The people were good people. My boss was a good boss. So I wanted to stay there for the rest of my life. But because I make these videos on the other channel, what I did every now and again was I made videos of what I was doing. If I was cutting grass, I'd be like this, cutting grass, blah blah blah. You know, just make videos around work. I really enjoyed it. Didn't see any problem with it, but they didn't like it, and there was a foreign bloke. He's an idiot. I trained him up on the weigh bridge actually, and I thought he was all right. He was on one of the quarries that we were in, because we'd done a lot of quarries. It was a quarry company, you know, quarrying ballast, sand, and stone, and all that out. Anyway, he was watching my videos actually for some reason. Don't know how he managed to find them on YouTube on the company computer. Now that's all logged and everything, so they found out he was watching videos on the company computer. They looked at it, they found out that it was me. Well, I didn't think it'd be a problem, so I never kept it a secret. I used to carry the camera in plain sight, walk around filming people and everything on, you know. I didn't think it was going to be a problem, so I never kept it a secret. But they found out that it was that watching me. They didn't like it, so they suspended me and sacked me the next day for making these videos. Apparently you're not allowed to make videos or take any pictures on the work site. So that was the end of that. So then I lost that job after nearly 8 years being there, about 7.5 years. Now I'm in the current job that I'm in, still doing the same thing, driving a blade or a bulldozer. For those of you that don't know what one of those is, I'll put a picture of a generic one up. I can't put a picture of the one I actually drive up because I don't want to get in trouble again. So I'll put a picture of a generic blade up. I'll put a picture of the same model one, just not my one. And you can have a look to see what that is. But yeah, that's what I do now. Down to the current state. There is a few things in between. I started up a small company myself. Because I haven't got any about. But because people keep breaking iPhones, if there's anything broken I like to fix it, and people keep smashing their iPhones up, don't know, and iPads and things. So they're easy. The screens are a piss easy to change. You can change a screen, you can change a camera, you can change a battery, easy on an iPhone, on an Apple iPhone or an iPad or whatever. So I started up a small company from my home, replacing screens, batteries, cameras, anything on iPhones, iPads. Didn't do Samsung, just Apple. And that was going well. I did it in my spare time, so I'd come in from work and then repair them. People would come and collect their phones, or I'd post them back to them. It was going well. But what annoyed me was people. People always want to get something for free. That is the trouble, right? So someone would come along and I'd say, oh yeah, well the screen for that, I could put a genuine screen on it. I think £100. So and I what £40 for doing it. 140 quid. That's for that at the time. It's probably cheaper now, but at the time, they're alright. So I do it. They come and pick it up and they go, I'm not happy with it. Not paying. What do you mean? Well, I'm not happy with it. I said, oh, well, give it back. I'll put the old screen back on it then. No, I'm not happy. I'm not paying you. I'll give you 50 quid. You know, and it was just annoying. So I stopped doing it. I fixed Xboxes for a while. Buy Xboxes with the ring of death. Fix them, sell them. It's going alright. But I got bored of that. And then a friend of mine, because we used to, I had two friends who I regret. They were my two best men in my wedding, but they were idiots. I shouldn't have done that. One of the big regrets in my life, but never mind, we'll forget about that. At the time we were getting on. Well, I always get on with them, but they were just idiots. They don't want to know me, you know what I mean? I was always the one to contact them. They never contacted me first. But anyway, we started up a car garage, a mechanic garage to repair cars. And so we done that. It was going alright for a while, but because it had come to a stage where we were getting so much business, so many cars coming in, that it needed... One of my friends was there constantly because he had no job. So this was his job, our business. The other one had a job. He'd come in every now and again, didn't do a lot. I had a job working for this other company, another company. I was there for 7 years. I was working for them at the time. I was going after work, going to our business, helping out. I didn't really do a lot. I was going there weekends and things as well. But then that come to a point where I needed to quit my real job to put all my time into this. But I didn't really want to do that at that point because I didn't think I'd earn enough money from it to be able to support my family. So I didn't. I kept my real job. And in the end, the other bloke, Tom, he just went on his own. That business was on his own. I came out of that. And he's closed it down since then. I don't know why. But anyway, so I had two small businesses. I had a three-way share in one, and the other one was myself. But I stopped it because never really made any real money out of it. And yeah, pretty much it. Pretty much it there, my friends. That's what I do now. Drive a bulldozer on a rubbish landfill tip. Yeah. So then, you lot, now you know my work history as such. I don't think I've missed anything out. I don't think I have. I might have done. Oh, well, obviously all of you know that on the side I've always repaired and sold things. I always buy and sell. But I don't think that's a real job, is it? I buy non-running lawnmowers, fix them up and sell them. Vacuum cleaners, fix them up, sell them. CB radios, fix them up, sell them. Nitro cars, fix them up, sell them. Just for a bit of extra cash, because these days I can't earn enough bloody money. That's the trouble. There's always I'm always skint. That's the trouble. So I'm always trying to do more to get extra cash in to help pay the bills. Things are so expensive these days. It's right for you lot in America and Australia. You know, you work to have a good life and have fun. But over here in England, you work simply just to survive, basically. You know. So that's the way it goes anyway. Enough of that, my friends. So I really appreciate you watching and subscribing. I don't know, this video, half of you probably ain't gonna watch it. Oh yeah, you're probably gonna get bored all the way, about 2 minutes in, if that. But Mr. RM wanted it, so there we go. Some of you may be interested in it, but I don't think you're gonna watch it. So thanks for being here and subscribing. If you are this far into the end, then thank you very much. I appreciate every second that you watch and view. I will be doing a few more live streams coming up, because, you know, I want to try and post more often, upload videos more often, as well, because any money that I make from this channel now, I can monetize the videos. It's going to go straight back into it, right? And my aim is to buy a piece of land to make a track. So anyway, thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you on the next one.